Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the top 4 most valuable U.S. Jefferson nickel coins value in today's market. So let's get started. First up, the 2012 Jefferson nickel minted in Denver, identified by the D mint mark. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since it replaced the Buffalo nickel in the late 1930s. Over the years, its design has gone through a few updates, but the spirit of the coin remains rooted in American history, paying tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. When it comes to the 2012 Jefferson nickel, at first glance, it may not appear particularly special. It's a modern coin that's still in circulation today, made from a copper-nickel alloy with a standard weight and diameter. But for collectors, certain qualities make specific coins from this year more desirable than others. Coins struck at the Denver Mint are identified by the small d just to the right of Monticello on the reverse side. The 2012 D Jefferson nickel was produced in relatively large quantities, which might lead some to believe it holds little to no value beyond its face. However, condition is everything in numismatics, and that's where things get interesting. Coin in extra fine, or XF, condition shows only light wear on the highest points. For the 2012 D Jefferson nickel, this means Jefferson's hair and Monticello's columns still show strong detail, with just slight flattening due to circulation. The fields, or flat areas of the coin, are still relatively smooth with minimal scratches or marks. This condition indicates that the coin has seen limited use and has been well preserved, often plucked from circulation early on or handled carefully by someone who understood its potential. In today's coin market, a 2012 D Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition isn't going to break records at auction, but it does carry more value than just 5 cents. Most XF examples sell for a modest premium, often landing somewhere between 25 cents and $1. This might not seem like much at first, but it's a significant markup considering its original face value and the fact that millions were produced. The value can be a little higher if the coin displays full steps on Monticello, a detail that indicates a very sharp strike and little post-mint wear. Collectors specifically look for this feature, especially in higher grades. Market. Prices for coins like these can vary slightly depending on demand, availability, and the specific appeal of the individual coin. A clean, problem-free XF coin with strong details can draw attention from entry-level collectors or those looking to complete a date and mint mark set in circulated condition. While it may not be considered rare or high-end in the broader world of numismatics, the 2012 D Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition represents the kind of coin that can teach new collectors a lot about grading, mint marks, and market value. It's a gateway coin, one that shows how even modern change can hold more value than meets the eye, especially when carefully chosen for quality. If you come across one of these in your pocket change or coin jar, it's worth taking a closer look. Flip it under a bright light, examine the details, and consider setting it aside. Sometimes the journey of building a great collection starts with a single, well-chosen coin like this one. Next up, 2015, Jefferson nickel minted in Denver, also known by its D mint mark. While modern coins like this one are generally quite common and used in everyday circulation, certain characteristics and market trends can sometimes elevate their value above face value, especially when they are in excellent condition. Let's begin by understanding what makes the 2015 D Jefferson nickel a coin of interest. At first glance, this coin might appear to be just another piece of change you'd find in your pocket. But coin collectors, or numismatists, pay close attention to details that many of us overlook. These details include the quality of the strike, the sharpness of the design, the condition of the surface, and whether the coin features any rare varieties or minting errors. The 2015 Jefferson nickel follows the current design introduced in the early 2000s, which features a forward-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side and his famous Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. The D mint mark, found on the obverse near the date, indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, one of the major production facilities for U.S. coinage. In terms of mintage, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these nickels in 2015, making the coin quite common in everyday transactions. Because of this high mintage, circulated examples usually only carry their face value. However, condition plays a critical role when assessing any coin's true market worth. A circulated 2015 D. Jefferson nickel will typically be worth 5 cents. But when you look at coins that are in exceptional condition, such as those graded by professional services, the story becomes more interesting. Collectors and investors usually seek out coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear and maintain their original luster. These coins are often graded on a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A 2015 D. Jefferson nickel graded in the higher mint state range, such as MS65 or above, can command a premium in the marketplace. On today's market, a 2015 D nickel in mint state condition can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to possibly more, depending on its grade and eye appeal. Coins graded MS66 or MS67 by reputable services like PCGS or NGC may sell for between $5 to $20. If the coin reaches an extremely high grade, such as MS68, which is considered very rare for a modern nickel, its value can increase significantly, sometimes exceeding $50 or more at auction or from specialized collectors. Error coins also play an important role in value assessment. While no major widespread minting errors have been reported for the 2015 D. Jefferson nickel, individual examples may still exist. These could include off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies, which are mistakes made during the minting process. If a 2015 D nickel displays such an error and is authenticated by a grading service, it could be worth much more, sometimes even reaching into the hundreds of dollars depending on the type and severity of the error. Another factor to consider is the coin's appeal to collectors trying to complete full sets of Jefferson nickels. These collectors often seek high-quality examples of every year and mint mark, which can increase the demand for top-grade versions of even the most common dates. That's why a 2015 D nickel in pristine condition, free from spots, scratches, or discoloration, might find a buyer willing to pay a premium. It's also important to understand that the coin market fluctuates based on demand, availability, and overall interest in the series. While the 2015 D. Jefferson nickel may not be rare in the traditional sense, certain examples can stand out due to condition, making them much more desirable and valuable than average circulated versions. To summarize, while most 2015 D. Jefferson nickels you encounter in your change are only worth face value, those in exceptional mint state condition, or those featuring rare errors, can be worth significantly more. If you come across a nickel from this year that appears unusually clean or well struck, it might be worth having it evaluated by a professional to determine its potential value. Next up, the 2017 Jefferson nickel bearing the Philadelphia Mint mark, also known as the P Mint mark. At first glance, this may seem like just another common coin in circulation, but as with many collectibles, the value can rise significantly, depending on condition, rarity, and collector interest. The 2017 P. Jefferson nickel holds a unique place in recent numismatic history. This was the first year in which the Philadelphia Mint placed its P Mint mark on the obverse of the 5-cent coin. Prior to 2017, nickels produced in Philadelphia did not carry a mint mark at all. This change was made to commemorate the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint, making the 2017 P. Jefferson nickel the first and only nickel to bear this specific mint mark from Philadelphia as part of a single-year tribute. In terms of mintage, over 915 million of these coins were produced, so by sheer volume they are not rare. However, when it comes to coin collecting, especially with more modern issues, condition is everything. A coin in circulated condition won't typically bring in more than its face value. But when you find a 2017 P. Jefferson nickel in uncirculated, or nearly perfect condition, that's where the interest starts to grow. Coins that have been graded and certified by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, particularly those graded MS66 and higher, have been known to attract collector attention. In pristine mint state condition, especially MS67 or MS68, these coins can sell for significantly more than face value. Recent sales have shown that a 2017 P. Jefferson nickel graded MS67 can sell anywhere from $15 to $30, depending on demand and market timing. If a coin achieves an even higher grade like MS68, it may fetch upwards of $100 or more at auction, though those cases are relatively rare. What drives this value is a combination of factors. The historical significance of the P mint mark debut on this denomination, the difficulty in finding high-grade examples free of nicks or scratches, and the general interest from collectors of modern U.S. coinage. It's also worth noting that errors or unusual die varieties, while not widely reported for this specific year and mint, could potentially command premiums. Collectors should always examine their coins closely for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies. If you have a 2017 P. Jefferson nickel, take a moment to check its condition. If it looks nearly flawless under magnification, it might be worth submitting it for grading. Even if it doesn't reach the highest mint state grades, holding on to a clean, well-struck example is still a good idea, especially as more people begin to appreciate modern coins with unique historical context. So while the 2017 P. Jefferson nickel might not be a rarity in the traditional sense, it does hold collectible value, especially in high grade. It's 1 year only. Mint mark and place in modern mint history make it a special piece to watch, especially for those collecting 21st century U.S. coins. Next up, the 2016 Jefferson nickel is part of the modern series of 5-cent coins that features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, or front of the coin, and his Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint. In 2016, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced millions of these coins, making them extremely common in circulation. Now, when we talk about coins in dirty or well-circulated condition, we're referring to coins that have visible wear, surface grime, and signs of age. These are coins that have been used in everyday transactions and are far from uncirculated or pristine. For collectors, condition is one of the biggest factors in determining value. The more wear a coin has, the less value it typically holds above face value. As of today, a 2016 D. Jefferson nickel in circulated or dirty condition is still considered a common coin. Its value in most cases remains at its face value, which is 5 cents. This is because there are no major known errors, rare varieties, or low mintage figures associated with this particular issue. Unless the coin has a significant mint error, such as an off-center strike, a double die, or a planchet error, it's unlikely to be worth anything more than its standard denomination. That said, some collectors may pay a few cents above face value for a nicely worn example if they're trying to complete a circulated set. However, in the broader market, especially among dealers and professional graders, there is typically no premium placed on a dirty or average condition 2016 D nickel. 1. Important thing to keep in mind is that coin values can fluctuate slightly depending on metal prices and collector demand. But because modern nickels are made mostly of copper and nickel, not silver or gold, they don't benefit much from increases in metal value. A circulated 2016 D nickel contains about 3 cents worth of metal as of current prices, which is still below its face value. So if you find one of these nickels in your change, it's a great piece to keep if you're interested in starting a coin collection or teaching someone about U.S. coins. But if you're hoping to sell it or cash in, it's best to know that in dirty or circulated condition, it's not going to bring you more than 5 cents in today's market. If you want to explore more about coin collecting, learn how to spot rare varieties or identify valuable errors, make sure to follow this channel. We'll continue sharing information that helps you understand what's in your pocket and whether it might be worth more than you think. Next up, the 2014 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark. This coin, though relatively recent and still in circulation, has caught the attention of collectors, especially when found in higher grades such as extra fine condition. In this video, we'll explore why this particular coin is gaining interest and what its value is in today's market. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since it replaced the Buffalo nickel in 1938. Over the years, it has undergone a few design changes and minting variations. But the version released in 2014 continues the design introduced in 2006, featuring a forward-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his historic home, on the reverse. The P mint mark on the 2014 nickel indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In total, over 400 million of these nickels were minted that year in Philadelphia alone, making it a very common coin in general circulation. However, coin collecting is not always about rarity in terms of mintage numbers. Sometimes it's about condition, quality, and particular characteristics that set one coin apart from millions of others. When evaluating a 2014 Jefferson nickel, one of the key things to consider is its grade. In this video, we're focusing on nickels that are in extra fine, or XF, condition. This means the coin shows only light wear on the highest points of the design. The details of Jefferson's hair, cheekbone, and collar, for example, should still be visible and only slightly flattened. On the reverse, the architectural lines of Monticello should remain mostly sharp, with minor wear. In terms of actual market value, a typical 2014 P. Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition is still considered a circulated coin. Because these coins are so recent and were minted in such large quantities, most of them are worth only face value, 5 cents, if they show signs of moderate circulation. However, collectors may pay a small premium for coins that are especially clean, well struck, and in extra fine or higher condition. On today's market, a 2014 P. Jefferson nickel in certified extra fine condition might fetch between 10 to 25 cents, depending on demand and the exact sharpness of the details. If the coin has strong eye appeal, minimal nicks, and good luster, that could increase its marketability. While this is not a huge amount of money, it's still up to 5 times its face value for what seems like a regular nickel. And of course, if a collector needs that specific year and mint mark to complete a set, they might be willing to pay a bit more for a high-quality example. It's also worth noting that some 2014 nickels can carry greater value if they have mint errors. These are not typical examples and fall outside the standard extra fine category. Examples of errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies. These kinds of errors can boost the value of the coin significantly, sometimes up to several dollars or more, depending on the severity and visibility of the mistake. So, while a 2014 P. Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition isn't going to make you rich, it's a good reminder that condition matters even for modern coins. If you enjoy searching through rolls of coins or keeping an eye on your change, it's well worth checking for these higher-grade nickels. Over time, coins like these may become more desirable, especially as they age, and fewer well-preserved examples remain in circulation. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you, and next time, happy collecting.